Shane Van Gisbergen came to NASCAR and did something nobody expected. He won. A lot. But the sport just pulled the rug out from under him. And honestly, he might be okay with it. Here is a driver who arrived in the most competitive stock car series on the planet, figured out its biggest loophole faster than anyone, and exploited it to perfection. Then, almost overnight, that loophole was closed. The question now is whether Shane Van Gisbergen is simply a road course specialist who got lucky with the rulebook, or whether he is something far more dangerous, a complete racing driver still in the process of becoming. To understand why this story matters, you need to go back to the beginning. Shane Van Gisbergen is a New Zealand-born racing driver and a multiple champion of Australia's Supercars Championship, one of the most physically and technically demanding touring car series in the world. Supercars races on a mix of street circuits, road courses, and permanent tracks, and it demands a driver who is equally fast turning left and right. SVG mastered that discipline over a decade and became one of the most decorated drivers in the series history. When he made a surprise part-time NASCAR debut at the 2023 Chicago street race, nobody outside the hardcore fan base had any idea what was about to happen. He won on his very first attempt, in the rain, on a temporary street circuit that most full-time Cup drivers had also never seen before. It was one of the most shocking single-race performances in recent NASCAR history. That win planted a seed. By 2025, SVG was a full-time Cup Series driver with Trackhouse Racing. He then won 5 races, and every single one of them came on a road course. From 5 road course races in 2025, he won 4 in the regular season, booking his place in the round of 16 with a win at Mexico City. The win-and-you're-in system, which granted any race winner automatic entry into the playoffs regardless of their point standing, was essentially a golden key. And SVG had it in his pocket all season long. This guy found a cheat code in NASCAR, and then NASCAR deleted it. For over a decade, from 2014 through 2025, NASCAR's championship was decided by a playoff structure that divided the season into 2 distinct phases. Win a race during the regular season, and you were automatically locked into the postseason field. From there, drivers competed in elimination rounds, with groups being cut after each stage until only 4 remained. Those 4 then competed in a single winner-takes-all finale to crown the champion. The drama was real, the stakes were enormous, but so was the frustration. Starting in 2026, NASCAR dismantled that entire structure and returned to a format it last used in 2013, the chase for the championship. The mechanics are straightforward. The top 16 drivers in points after the 26-race regular season qualify for the chase. No automatic bids, no shortcuts, just points. From there, all 16 drivers' points reset, and whoever scores the most points across the final 10 races is crowned champion. The point structure itself was also overhauled. A race win now pays 55 points, up from the previous 40, a 37% increase. Second place pays 35 points. Third pays 34, and the scale drops by 1 point per position from there. Stage wins pay 10 points, second in a stage pays 9, and so on. The regular season champion enters the chase with a 25-point advantage over the second seed. The top seed carries 2,100 points into the opening chase race. The second seed carries 2,075. The third carries 2,065, and every position after that drops by 5 points. The championship finale was also relocated from Phoenix Raceway in Arizona to Homestead Miami Speedway in Florida. The format also extends to NASCAR's other national series. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series will feature a 12-driver chase over 9 races, and the Craftsman Truck Series will feature a 10-driver chase over 7 races. NASCAR did not just tweak the rules. They eliminated an entire decade of playoff racing and returned to the foundation. The fan backlash had been building for years, but 2025 brought it to a breaking point. 14 different drivers won a race that season. 7 drivers won at least 3 races. Denny Hamlin won 6 races, the most of anyone, yet still walked away without the championship. The elimination format had delivered its most controversial result yet, and it was difficult to argue that the champion that year was truly the best driver over the full season. NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell addressed the core problem directly. One of the things with win and in that we didn't think about that ultimately happened was we wanted every race to matter, and that didn't happen with win and in, he said. You saw someone who could win that first playoff race and then kind of say, okay, I'll see you in a couple weeks, and that's not something we want to deliver for the fans. So we felt like more points to the win, but you still have got to be there every race, and hopefully you're going for those wins for 36 races in a row. The format change was not a knee-jerk reaction to one bad season. NASCAR had been consulting with owners, drivers, manufacturers, tracks, broadcast partners, and fans for an extended period before the announcement. But there is no question that the accumulation of years of fan frustration, combined with high-profile incidents like Hamlin's 2025 heartbreak, accelerated the timeline. In simple terms, every single lap matters now. The fans were screaming. NASCAR finally listened. When Shane Van Gisbergen was asked about the format change, he did not deliver a polished, carefully managed public relations response. He told the truth, and in doing so, gave one of the most honest assessments from any driver in the paddock. I think it kind of needed a change, he told the Performance Racing Network. But it's hard for me. The reason I'm in the series is because of win and you're in, right? But I feel like I've gotten better on ovals to where I don't have to rely on it. That admission is significant. Most drivers in professional motorsport do not openly acknowledge when a rule change disadvantages them personally. SVG did, without hesitation, and then followed it with a strategic pivot that revealed exactly how he is processing the challenge. It's certainly going to be an achievement to make that top 16, but I think it's a good target for us, and something that is achievable. I think it rewards those top guys now that are always winning, and they were the guys calling for it, I guess. For me, that's more of a pure racing championship. It's probably a good thing in that regard. The numbers paint an interesting picture. Under the 2025 season results applied to the new chase format, SVG would have made the chase, but only by 2 points over the cut line. He also finished the 2025 regular season 24th in points under the old system, which underlines just how dependent his postseason qualification was on the win-based entry rule. He was also candid about losing 2 road courses from the 2026 schedule. NASCAR removed the Chicago Street Race and the Charlotte ROVAL, reducing the road course count from 6 to 4. I want to do as many as I can, but I came here not to run road courses, he said. So, I'm 50-50 on it. Hopefully, next year some will come back. SVG essentially said this change hurts him personally, and he still thinks it is the right call. In professional sport, that level of candor is genuinely rare. The 4 remaining road courses in 2026 are all scheduled during the regular season. None fall within the chase window. That means SVG cannot rely on a road course win to rescue his championship position during the final 10 races. If he makes the chase, he will need to compete on ovals. Full stop. His 2025 oval numbers tell a sobering story. He sat 35th to 58th in points at various stages mid-season before clawing his way back. He finished with 4 top 15 results by season's end, including a win at the Charlotte Roval. But the first half of his year on ovals was a genuine struggle. The encouraging sign is trajectory. Just the knowledge. I'm going to all these places for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th time, he said. I felt so much more comfortable at the end of last year, and I think I read that we would have been near the top 16 or right in it. Maybe we can do the same this year. It would be really cool to start a lot stronger. There is also an internal storyline developing at Trackhouse Racing. Connor Zilisch, the team's other rising star and a runner-up in the O'Reilly Series in 2025, is pushing for his own recognition. SVG is no longer the only young talent in that garage demanding attention. which adds another layer of competitive pressure heading into 2026. SVG cannot just be a road course specialist anymore. He has to become a complete NASCAR driver. 2026 is the test. The response from within the sport has been largely positive. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney all publicly praised the change. Earnhardt, in particular, made a pointed appeal to lapsed fans. I would just appeal to the race fans, all the race fans, but especially the classic fans who say to me, I don't watch anymore. I say we need you. Come on back. We're headed in the right direction. Blaney reflected on the emotional weight of the era this format revives. I think we oftentimes forget how good we had it through all those years of chase format. I think it is a really nice compromise. The format returns the weekly narrative to the drivers themselves, their consistency, their rivalries, their stories across a full season, rather than reducing the entire championship conversation to cut-off lines and elimination math. It echoes the era of Richard Petty, David Pearson, Cale Yarborough, and Buddy Baker, drivers whose greatness was measured across hundreds of races, not a single afternoon in November. For newer fans, the format is simply easier to follow. More points equals better position. The best driver over 36 weeks wins. That clarity has genuine value. NASCAR has placed a large bet that a champion proven across a full season is more compelling than a manufactured single race decider. The return to Homestead, Miami for the finale adds a layer of historical resonance. Whether the format delivers the drama it promises will only become clear as the season unfolds. SVG came to NASCAR because of a rule. That rule is gone. But here is the thing. He might be better for it. The Daytona 500 is the starting line. COTA, Watkins Glen, and every oval in between are the proving ground. And at the end of it all, the question that will define his 2026 season is simple. Can Shane Van Gisbergen make the chase for the championship on pure merit? Drop your prediction in the comments below. And if you want the full 2026 NASCAR season breakdown, that video is coming next. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it.